At the beginning of the story, we meet Mr. Wynwyrd, the owner of a doll factory. Mr. Wynwyrd needed an assistant, so he placed an advertisement in the newspaper. In response to the ad, a young woman named Coby Dellum arrives at his company for an interview. Inside the factory, we see Mr. Wynwyrd closely observing the doll-making process. The plastic was melted, poured over the doll mold, and shaped into the doll's face. Mr. Wynwyrd personally oversaw the entire doll-making and packaging process. There was a look in his eyes that suggested a deep affection for the dolls. Then, Coby Dellum comes to his office. He starts her interview, and he asked, "Tell me, what is the role of dolls in this world?" Coby replied, "Dolls are just like humans. God also sent humans in this world like dolls." Hearing this, Mr. Wynwyrd immediately stopped her and said, "No, dolls are innocent. Humans commit sins and dolls do nothing." Anyway, saying this, he tells Coby Dellum to go home. Despite her qualifications exceeding the job requirements, he felt that Coby wasn't the right fit for the role, although Coby also convinced him that she will work very hard and will prove herself. Anyway, as Coby turned back to go home, we were shown that Mr. Wynwyrd's man had kidnapped her. Now, when Coby regained consciousness, she was in Mr. Wynwyrd's palace. The palace was designed exactly like a dollhouse. Mr. Wynwyrd, sitting across from her, informed her that she would be spending the entire week in his dollhouse. He explained that, much like a beauty pageant, she would need to participate in each event held there. However, Coby was not interested and politely declined. Mr. Wynwyrd told her that she has no option here. She has to do what she is told. Coby was very scared of her words. After he left, Coby tried to run away from here, but Mr. Wynwyrd's secretary caught her, and all her attempts to escape failed. After a plan failed, Coby started using other plans to escape. She started looking at all the windows and doors that opened outwards, but then a girl came from behind and told Coby that this palace is completely sealed. It has been designed in such a way that no one can go out of it except the main door, and that girl knew all this because she tried to escape. Coby did not know yet that there was someone else in this palace, because she had not seen anything except big dolls in the palace. When she turned around, she found out that these dolls were actually humans who had masks on their faces, and Mr. Wynwyrd had kidnapped all of them like Coby and brought them here for this strange competition. A doll present here tells Coby that the competition here will actually select a girl who will be ideal to be Mr. Wynwyrd's son's mother, and all the other girls will lose that competition, or will not perform well in any of her games, so Mr. Wynwyrd will kill her very brutally. After kidnapping all the girls, when they were brought here, everyone tried to escape from here, but none of them succeeded. Now the girl who told Coby that she can't escape from here, the same girl tells Coby that Mr. Wynwyrd is a very perfect person. He wants everything in his life to be perfect, just like a dollhouse is perfect. And 2 years ago, when he found out that his wife was cheating on him, he punished her in a very strange manner. He threw both of them into a well without clothes and left an electric wire in that well, which killed both of them. Now they were just talking, and suddenly there was a big commotion. The girl told them that Mr. Wynwyrd is coming, and they have to get ready like a doll. As the bell rang, they went to a special room where there were a lot of costumes. Each of the girls selects a costume for herself, and then stands up like a doll as a statue. Coby wore a clown costume. Meanwhile, Mr. Wynwyrd and his son Otus come to the room. Otus liked all the dolls, but not Coby, who was a clown, and before Coby was killed to impress Otus, Coby shows a magic trick. She moves a card near her with her telekinesis. Power means she moves the car with her brain, which impressed Otus and saved Coby's life. Otus did not believe this magic. He asked Coby to do this magic again, but Coby refused, and in response, she bare the same rude behavior of Otus like Mr. Wynwyrd, his dad. Otus was about to give the order to kill her, but then Coby restarted the car, capturing his attention. After Otus and Mr. Wynwyrd left, everyone was in their room, and talking about Coby and Aurelia was getting tensed that this magic will make Coby turn Otus towards her, and we will all die, and Aurelia was selfish. She wanted to win this pageant so that only her life is saved and she can live here as Otus's mother. Coby explained her after understanding all her thoughts. Look, Aurelia, winning this pageant and living here as Otus's mother is not a big thing. The big thing is that we have to somehow get everyone out of here. Now they were talking that once again. The alarm started ringing. Everyone got ready like a doll and came to the dining room, and Mr. Wynwyrd gave everyone a task to set the table. They all had only 1 minute, and the one who sets the worst table would die. Some could do this job very well, but some girls got very confused and panicked. In this situation, only Aurelia was looking confident in setting her table. Coby didn't know how to set a table, so she started copying Aurelia. But at the last minute, Aurelia made a change. She kept a spoon with a fork, and Coby also noticed this. But before she changed, the 1-minute timer was over, and a glass broke from her in a hurry. Because of this, she was being scolded from Wynwyrd. The winner of this competition was Aurelia, but the one who set the worst table here. Mr. Wynwyrd made her unconscious and threw her in his well, just to give her the same death as he killed his wife. Anyway, the next day it is shown that Otus has entered this dollhouse again. Here he meets Coby, who tells him about her telekinesis power, on which she could control things with her mind. Here she tries to change Otus's mind and promises him that if Otus makes Coby win, then she will prove to be the best mom for Otus, and Coby will be his mom. Only when Otus will convince his dad to stop all these killings, instead of killing the girls who lost the pageant, he should spare them. Now Aurelia, who was looking at them, didn't hear what they were saying. But yes, she felt that Coby is trying to turn Otus on her side, and thus her chances of winning are diminishing. Here it is shown at night that Otus came to talk to Mr. Wynwyrd at Coby's behest, that he left everyone, and he liked Coby as his mom. But before he could tell all this to Wynwyrd, he noticed that Wynwyrd was upset because of his business. Otus chose not to say anything to avoid upsetting him further. The next morning, another bell rings. Means another competition begins in which all the girls were given shirts, and they had to spray starch on them and press them. Everyone gets busy and their time ends. At this time, Aurelia pressed the most perfect shirt. A girl used another spray instead of the starch, and Coby burned her shirt. Because of her mistake, Coby could have been killed, but here, Wynwyrd just burns her hand instead of killing her. With this, Aurelia and the audience can guess that somewhere Wynwyrd also had a place for Coby. Now, when he goes to the fourth girl, whose shirt was better than Coby's, he deliberately gives her a 4, and in return for this mistake, he stabs a sharp thing her in the stomach several times. Now the scene cuts, and we are shown Coby and her partner in a room where they were discussing that, instead of dying, they can run away from here, because they think Aurelia is going to win. Also, Coby tells her partner that he is trying to manipulate Otus's mind with her powers so that he can make Coby win, and Coby helps everyone else to get free from here. Aurelia had heard all this, and Coby also found out this thing with the help of her powers. Before Aurelia goes out, Coby runs to the doll room and starts looking for something. Meanwhile, we see that Aurelia comes to Coby's room with something sharp and stabs Coby from behind. Later, it was revealed that there was a statue instead of Coby in this clown costume. Coby was aware of Aurelia and anticipated that she would try to trick her, so she placed a statue in her own stead. She then attempted to explain to Aurelia that there were many possibilities beyond simply winning or losing that could be explored. Coby tells her that she has a plan, that they will place the statue in their place, and when Wynwyrd comes in front of them, he will keep talking to the dolls, and he will not know that we are not in front of him, and taking advantage of this, we will run away from the main door. Now the scene cuts, and we are shown that Otus wakes up in his house. He heard his dad and his manager that he will take the faith test of the rest of the girls, and whoever disobeyed will be killed. Now Wynwyrd comes inside the dollhouse and rings the bell for their new competition. This was the time when Coby had to execute her plan. They place statues in his place to deceive Wynwyrd. After which, Coby uses her telekinesis power to open the door's lock, and these three escape from there. Coby didn't like going from here because she had promised Otus to be a good mom. She tells Aurelia and her friend that we should take Otus with us, and Aurelia replies that you enjoy to be a good mom. I am leaving. This was the same Aurelia who was trying to be a good mom in the whole episode, and now when she got a chance, she ran away from here. The friend behind her was running at a slow pace, and Aurelia feared she would be caught because of her. Aurelia changed her path. Nothing happened, but before she could change her course, Wynwyrd's secretary spotted her, shot her, and killed her. Along with her other friend, and only Coby is left, who went back to fulfill her promise to Otus. Recognizing her loyalty, Wynwyrd decided to accept Coby as the mother of his son. Now, the question arises, how did he discover that Aurelia and the other girl were attempting to escape? In fact, he had placed microphones in the large dolls, which allowed Wynwyrd to learn about their plan in advance. This is why he was testing their loyalty, a test that Coby passed by, returning to fulfill her promise. Wynwyrd ultimately decided to create a doll for Coby, intending to make her Otus's mother. He believed that only a doll was free from sin and could truly prove to be a good mother. Coby was placed in a machine used for making large plastic dolls. Her body was sealed, as hot plastic was poured over her. Desperate to escape, Coby tried using her powers, causing the room's lights to flicker. However, she couldn't break free from the machine. The scene then shifts, revealing Coby transformed into a doll, now serving Wynwyrd and Otus. Suddenly, Wynwyrd's teacup flew off the table, revealing the presence of two witches in the house. Coby had summoned them for help with her telekinetic powers. But because her powers were weak, her message had reached them late. The witches broke Coby's telekinetic hold, restoring her to human form. They came to save Coby. One of the witches asked Coby to come with her, but before leaving, Coby invited Otus to join her. She had promised Otus that she would be a good mother to him, and Wynwyrd couldn't object because the witches had frozen him with their powers. Before departing, one of the witches set fire to Wynwyrd, his secretary, and the factory. In the final scene, we see Otus and Coby arriving at a new mansion. Coby tells Otus to forget his old name, saying, "From now on, your name is Charles, and I am your mother." Otus nods in agreement, and with that, the movie concludes.